बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि
Can I tap it? Hello?
Hello, hello. Yep. But I think you better come close, yeah? Hello, hello, hello. So it's got to be, you're going to be really close. Can you hear? How close? How close?
Hello?
Yeah, you have to be right up on it. When you guys are ready. Yeah, it's fine. No, no, no. Fine. There. Can you see it on the live stream from here? Here. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think they wanted to see if they could zoom in on the live stream, but I don't think you can. Can they?
You might have to kind of do that over there, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they were able to like zoom a little bit. I think the people in India said they weren't sure they could see him. That's why. Like if they can zoom on this, I don't know. We can ask. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. No, you have to wait. Wait. Some other people are going to announce. There's not enough seats, but we're going to do what we can.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention for just a moment here, please. Hi, folks. So we will be starting our eulogies and our brief service in just a few moments here. If I could ask that everyone please silence any cell phones or set them to vibrate. Thank you so much.
Right. Good afternoon and Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you all for coming. I am Hiren Desai, and Dr. Desai, Rajubai, is my dearest uncle and our dearest uncle. He will be forever in our hearts. And as for his family, he was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, dada, and lived a blessed life and was a true example of compassion, hard work, and achievements. He had an adventurous spirit, call it rollerblading or skiing, and his ability to connect with anyone out there was really compelling. He has inspired so many with his integrity and devotion to the area of medicine, to the field of medicine. His love, laughter, and generosity will be dearly missed. In the words of his grandchildren, the memory of our Dada will always be in our hearts. Now, I would like to invite Saurabh, Dr. Desai's eldest son, to say a few words about his dad.
Good afternoon, everybody. For those that I haven't met before, I'm Saurabh, Rajan's son. I wanted to start by thanking all of you for coming from near and far to celebrate his life. I also want to especially thank our amazing friends and family who have given us so much love and support over the last few days. I have so many fond memories of my father, and today I wanted to share some of those with everyone. I've heard many times over the last few days about my dad's adventurous spirit. I would say he really loved to take on new challenges and live life to the fullest. I knew he always had a sharp wit. He grew up in India, and at a time when most doctors there completed their MBBS degrees, it wasn't enough for him, and he had to go on and complete his MD as well. He went on to work in England and finally moved to the US, first in New York, then in Michigan. These are things that he did that I don't know I could have done in my early 20s. I think about what he taught me, and my first instinct was to say work ethic. And that was certainly part of it. But the more I listed up my memories, I could see his bold approach to new adventures. He was the one who got me interested in playing tennis, even though I would say he really never knew how. My first goal was to beat him, and we never really got that final match, but I think it's safe to say that as he got older, I think I could have finally taken him. He also got me into skiing. I think about how wondrous that was, considering he took this up as a middle-aged man. Here I am in my late teens and 20s going on small slopes in Michigan, and I get a picture from him. He had gone to a conference in Utah, and he was pictured at the top of Snowbird, ready to come down the slopes. One day, I came home from school, and he was somewhere in his 40s strapping on rollerblades for the first time. He wanted to get in shape, and I never saw older adults at that time on rollerblades, but here he was going all over our subdivision. I think he was tough as well. Not only was it study and school first, but when he decided something, that was it, no turning back. When he was told he couldn't or shouldn't do something, I can still hear him in my mind saying, "So what? Who cares? I'm going to do what's right." And I'm sure many of you who interacted with him, whether at work or in personal life, can imagine the same phrases. As I wrote all these thoughts, I realized all of these experiences, whether you describe him as adventurous or tough, can be summed up as saying he had such a determination about life. I'm not sure I can ever have that same determination. I think this was something that many of us may aspire to. And then I look at his grandchildren, my son Rohan and daughter Anya, and my two nephews, Roshan and Ronak, and I see the same brilliance and determination and recognize that the best of him is passed on to all his family. Papa, we will always remember and enjoy all the moments we had together. We were fortunate to have been able to share in our experiences as a family. Thank you for blessing us with these memories. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh, for those words and really bringing back some awesome memories. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Snehal Desai, his youngest son, to also say a few words about his dad.
Thank you, Hiren, and good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to start by saying a heartfelt thank you to everyone that supported our family during this difficult time, and to all of you for joining us to commemorate my father's life. When I think of my papa, I think of him as a great role model who inspired me in so many ways. I'd like to share some of the positive influences he had on my life. First and foremost, Papa was very principled. He believed in doing the right thing, even if it was the more difficult choice, and doing things in the right way. He had such integrity and always encouraged us to be truthful, respectful, dependable, and loyal. Papa was extremely determined also. Despite all of his health setbacks, he fought back and regained his strength so many times. After his traumatic brain injury, I clearly remember the neurologist telling us that it was likely he would never walk again without assistance. Thanks to his strong will and the tireless devotion and encouragement of my mother, he was able to walk again without any assistance. His determination allowed him to have so many more quality years, continue to travel and create memories with his grandchildren, and witness so many of their achievements. Papa also loved helping others and was so devoted to his medical career. He was the perfect example of a compassionate and hardworking physician and inspired my own decision to pursue medicine. As a neonatologist, he worked long hours and had overnight call every third night, but he never complained because he loved his work and he cared so much for his patients and their families. They were so grateful for his care and even remembered him years later. I remember Papa telling us about the successes of his former patients when they had NICU reunions. And actually just recently, I personally met the father of one of his former patients. I had taken my children skiing at Mount Holly, and a random stranger came up to me and said, "Hey, do you know a Dr. Desai?" And I was wondering, who is this guy that's coming up to me? And how does he know that I'm a Desai? You know, but then I realized that our bag has our name monogrammed on it. But he was so grateful, you know, and he remembered from 20 years ago that my father had taken care of his premature son, And he was so grateful and so happy to share that his son was now a graduate of college and going into accounting. Over the years, I've met many of my father's colleagues and coworkers, and they've always expressed such admiration and respect for him. Even some of my own patients are his former colleagues. They have such a fondness for him that they never fail to ask about him whenever they come to see me. And even more than that, some of Papa's former residents are now physicians to my own children and to my nephew and niece. And they treat our children as if they were family, which is a testament to the high regard that they have for him. Papa was very happy when I told him that I wanted to pursue medicine and I got into medical school. A little part of him, though, because of his very strong work ethic, he was a bit disappointed that I chose the easy field of dermatology. He did have a quite a chuckle, though, when his partner reminded him that I was probably the smart one for making this decision. Papa also instilled in me a love for travel. He really enjoyed traveling, but he was definitely not a sit at the beach type of guy. I have many memories of childhood vacations when we were awakened early in the morning so as not to miss any opportunity to explore our destination. I vividly remember the 3 a.m. wake up to see the sunrise at Haleakala in Maui, which my father insisted on, we have to see this despite all of our objections. And looking back, I feel very fortunate to have seen and done so much. And he definitely inspired me to become a traveler as well. And unfortunately for my family, I've pretty much become like Papa, and I insist on early wake ups and trying to see and do everything. Hopefully they'll appreciate it someday. As you can see, Papa was a great influence in my life, and I will truly miss him. Many of you may have seen this funny car insurance commercial by Progressive. The company is claiming to save you from becoming like your parents. And I already see that I've become like Papa in so many ways, and I'm really proud to say that I have. And while we no longer have his physical presence, I see many of his qualities in myself, my brother, and our children. And I know his spirit will endure in all of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. I appreciate the kind words. As you look around the room, and if you've had the chance to look at some of the memory books out there, it becomes very clear to us that his grandchildren loved him dearly. And the world was revolving around the grandchildren for him. So I'd like to now invite the grandchildren to say a few words about their memories with Dada. So first one up is Ronak.
Hello, my name is Ronak Desai, and I am Dada's youngest grandchild. Dada was such a loving and caring person to me. He taught me and inspired me so much. I loved when he played catch with me, and I loved his smile. He will always be my cutie pie. I will always miss him.
Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Well said. Next up is Anya. Princess Anya, please say a few words about Dada.
Hello, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Anya. The first thing I would like to say is there were two reasons I wanted to do this speech. One, because I think it's a good way to honor Dada's memory. Two, it's kind of like a way to give back. Dada has watched me grow into a strong, opinionated girl, and I only wish he could watch me grow for more than just 12 years. Even though my time with him was shorter than anyone would have liked, that time was an incredible 12 years that I wouldn't trade for anything. Dada has showed me so much about the world. I appreciate, treasure, and honor his memory. Dada has taught me about integrity, love, honesty, and most important, family. He was the most caring, loving, persevering person, and whenever he smiled, you would have to smile too. That's just the kind of person he was. I also remember how Dada Dadi and I would always go to Firefighters Park and walk around the pond. I have so many good memories like that I'm lucky to have. And I will be forever grateful for everything Dada has done for me and with me. One of the memories I treasure the most is how he would always call me princess. I don't know much about the future, but I do know I will always be his princess.
Thank you very much, Princess. All right, next up, Mr. Roshan. Please say a few words for Dada.
Good afternoon, everybody. For those of you who do not know me, I am Roshan Desai, Dada's second oldest grandson. I was only 5 months old when Dada had his accident, but those 5 months prior to it were made with the greatest memories together. Dada had really made my life full of happiness and laughter as a young boy before what had happened to him. However, even though those months before with Dada were one of the best parts of my life, the after was even better and more important with him because he was still by my side and fighting for his life, fighting for his family, and fighting for me. From the day he delivered his first baby in the hospital to when he met his beautiful wife, who is my Dadi, and had two amazing sons, who is my dad and my kaka, Dada was a caring hero. I knew Dada was always strong in his very heart, making him one of the greatest fighters against every obstacle I have ever seen. For the past 13 years I have been alive with him, he has taught me integrity, honesty, and to never give up, as well as gifted me with strength and courage to do everything I face, just like he did. We have been through so many great experiences and have shared many memories together, such as going on vacation to Holland to on many walks in parks, which I will never forget. The last time I spent my time with Dada was on this recent Mother's Day, and I have to say that I know he enjoyed it greatly. He got his favorite food, had some drinks, and even got ice cream after, all while surrounded by his loving family. He was extremely happy, which made me happy and grateful for what he has done. Even though I was not expecting that day to be my last day with him, I know he had a great lifetime through all of his wonderful journeys and adventures he went on. From that day on, I realized that Dada would have wanted me to continue on with my life and pursue my many dreams ahead, even if it meant that he wasn't able to be there with me. Although this is a goodbye to Dada, this isn't truly a goodbye, as he will always be watching down on me when I hopefully graduate and maybe even become a doctor like he was. Even though I cannot see Dada anymore, he will always be in spirit with me at every step I take. And I truly hope I can continue the amazing dreams and legacy he has left. So with that, today, let's not feel sad that Dada is gone, but let us celebrate that on Thursday, May 18th, 2023, a great, caring, and life-saving hero went on to lead another amazing life full of everlasting love and happiness.
Thank you so much. And an amazing lesson coming from an amazing grandkid. So, really appreciate it. As you look left and right in the room, look front and back, what you will see are the folks that Dr. Desai or Raju Boy has impacted throughout his life, throughout his career. And thereby, I'd like to invite a friend as well as a colleague of his, first starting with Dr. Sudhakar, a very good friend as well as colleague and a family friend of the Desais. If you can say a few words, appreciate it. Thank you.
The people collected here today reflect only a fraction of all those who have had the experience, of meeting Raju. I'm not sure if all of you can appreciate it, but I really sense happiness from that association emanating in this room. And it is only as big as it is because everybody couldn't be here. It is a privilege for me to speak about my best friend and colleague. I know him for about 53 years. So that's longer than most associations in this room with him. He has been an extraordinary individual in that he was always honest, he was always upfront, and always willing to sacrifice for anybody and everybody. We started our pediatrics post graduation together, and then we separated. I came to the US and he went to England. Then he wanted to come to the United States, and I tried to dissuade him. I am fortunate that I did not succeed. When he came, he stayed over with us until we found a place which was not ideal to stay in the Bronx, but we managed. And then we finished our pediatrics, finished our fellowships, I in New York, he at Wayne State. And I decided to go back to settle in India. Unfortunately or fortunately, it did not work out. And in a year's time, I came back looking for a job. And Raju arranged 4 interviews for me at hospitals in Detroit. And he helped me find my job, which I have been doing for the last 40 years. In between, he and I associated, became colleagues running the Henry Ford Health System nurseries together. And make no mistake, he was a great colleague and we had our differences. And he would always get into arguments, as his secretary can vouch for. She's here today. But never did it ever amount to any dissociation. It was, in a way, a perfect marriage, I would say. But more than anything else, he was supported by his family and that remarkable lady, Shobana, throughout all this period. I know how many times she tried to change some aspects of Raju, and she continued to do it as long as she could. And he resisted as much as he could too. He was a delight to know. He came to my help on many occasions. He was always there for his patients. I thought I had some solid work ethic, but I did look up to him in that regard. There was never a selfish motive in his actions. I also know one distinct difference between him and me. He always gave everybody a very long rope before he did not see eye to eye with them. Nobody was bad in his eyes. And I think that was also extraordinary. So this individual is somebody that all of us would miss tremendously. And I am very, very happy that his family was there around for so long to help him in his last years of his life. They love him endlessly and he loved them endlessly. I'm remarkably sad actually that he is not with us anymore. I did not want to write down all that I wanted to say because it would be a long speech and you all will all get up and go. Yeah. I think one of the very important things which I must say is he is the one who has introduced me to Mexican food. El Charros. The number of trips our families have made to go there to enjoy. He has been there for me at all the times that I have needed him. And truly, I cannot surpass anything that my preceding speakers have said about Raju. And with that, I'll just express my gratitude for having known him all these years. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sudhakar. Appreciate it. Next up, I'd like to invite another gentleman here, Kingsley Thomas, Dr. Kingsley Thomas, if you could please come up here to say a few words.
Thank you to the Desai family and all the honored guests. It's a great privilege for me to say a few words from one of the greatest person I've ever known. Most of the things that I will say, they are borrowed words. They are not mine. But let me talk to you about the great Martin Luther King, who once said, "There are moments in life which brings about an unusual feeling. These feelings cannot be articulated by those symbols known as words, only by the silent beat of the heart." That's you, sir. Dr. Desai was my friend. I was vice chief, but I found him to be a man of conscientious integrity and of unblemished piety, whose conscience went beyond the frontiers of his own life that he had dedicated so much. If I shall remind you of the words of the great American poet, Emily Dickinson, who said, "The greatest gift in life is giving of yourself." He did that. He was a man who I thought was greater, and Longfellow may have reported him. He says, "Lives of great men all remind us, and we can make our lives sublime and depart and leave behind us footprints on the sands of time." The great poet Alfred Lord Tennyson once wrote that if 20 millions of summer are stored away from the noon of man, the human race has a far way to grow. No, Dr. Desai, he helped the human race. And if I should go towards the border, the great Mexican poet, he was the only one of his race, he was an Indian, Juan Benito Juarez, and he suggested in these words, "The respect of all is honor." You respected her, sir. You possess that great quality that Shakespeare suggests. The purest treasure of mortal times afford is a spotless reputation. And if you take this away from man, he's become like gilded loam or painted clay. You weren't like that. You were a rose that scattered and gave light and joy to the people. You loved everyone. You saw in everyone the goodness of the heart. For I believe that death is but the gateway to life and its onward name. No discordance in this roll of time. Beat unto this great hereafter, morning hope of all the wonders I have known. It seems so strange that men should fear death, seeing that death is a necessary end, which must come when it will come. Sir, you did that which you ought to do. You loved life. And I know the great Muhammad Gandhi must have been rejoicing now. He's there in the celestial heights above with the angels, recognizing you and welcoming you. And in the words of the great Jamaican poet, his name is Marley, he's singing, "One love, one heart. Let's get together and everything will be all right." You're beautiful, sir. You left so much to us for us to do, and the work has just begun. I feel so much saddened by the departure. But I remind myself of the words when I was but a boy, that when I wrote that life is a battlefield where you take your stand, fighting and fighting for the best you can. You did that. And you did it with such accomplishment that the eye of the world is looking at you now. The little ones that you took so much care of, they are rejoicing with you now. They are singing praises to the Almighty God. And today is a Sunday. And let's just bring to our peace the joys of life. Let us look at each other with the same way that you think that we should look at you. Let us not forgive or forget that life is a battlefield. Let us look around and let your memory last forever, and it will leave an indelible impression on the minds of all. For you were great. And in the words of the great Enlil in his poem in Invicta, you were the conqueror of your own soul. I can see that your faces are getting tired. Your eyelids are getting tired. And I must warn you that speech is silver and silence is gold. Why don't I give you the latter? And thank you again. Bye.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kinsley, for those inspiring words indeed, and all those stanzas for Dr. Desai. Uh, I'd like to invite others to the podium, maybe a minute or two, keep it short. If anybody would like to come up and say a few words, because I'm almost sure that everybody in this room has something to say about Dr. Desai, Rajubai, so on. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I am Crystal. I worked for Dr. Desai for many years. It is truly a pleasure being in front of you today, and I'm so saddened by this. My heart has been so heavy, but I don't want to carry that on over to you. Mrs. Desai, you have been an absolute phenomenal woman, phenomenal wife. You've been a great friend to me. Dr. Desai was a great friend to me. He met all of my family. My son is here today. He knew them. He helped me raise them. He raised me. There were times that Dr. Desai and we had our little bicker and backer, but I tell you, I love that man from the bottom of my heart. I love you, your family. My family always ask about you. It's very hard for me to go back to thinking of all the times that Dr. Desai and I had. But I will reflect on one time when he went to the hospital when he very first had the fall. And I went down to see him, and I went in to see him, and he was hooked up and connected to all of everything to keep him alive. And he said, I looked up at him and I said, Dr. Desai, do you know who I am? And he said, yes, you're the drama queen. He was the only one that always called me the drama queen. Then he told me that I had a partner, which happened to be his granddaughter. And I believe that's you. But I just want to thank you all for taking the time to invite me and my family into your home, because you are truly a virtuous woman. And there are many women on this earth, but I don't know if there will ever be one to take care of a husband the way you did. I want to thank everybody here from St. Joe's who came here to this homegoing. But I just want to say this, Dr. Desai, I will always love you. Thank you, God, for that, because I said, I hope I didn't stumble or because that was hard to do. But thank you all so much, and I love you all.
Thank you so much for coming up and for those nice hymns. Anyone else like to come up here and say a few words? If not, behind the room, in the back there to the left, is an area where there's a book the kids have made of memories. You can sign, you can say a few words there. And as you step out in the lobby to the left-hand side, there's a kiosk where we set up to record all the videos and clips of memories of people who would like to record that and leave it behind for the family. In the meantime, I invite you all to pay respect to Dr. Desai or Rajubai, and also spend some time with the family here. Thank you so much, and thank you all for coming. You keep it here only, right?
No, then they can see the family.
Okay. Over there, you want to move it?
Yes. No, just announce first. First announce.
Do you want more petals?
Sorry. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is where we have the rose petals for Dr. Desai. And if you could please form a line over here, pay your respects, uh, and also offer some petals, and then you can go out the other way. Thank you so much.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Govind bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Govind bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Radha Raman Hari Govind bolo. Radha Raman Hari Govind bolo. गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Govind bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Govind bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Radha Raman Hari Govind bolo. Radha Raman Hari Govind bolo. गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Govind bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Govind bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Radha Raman Hari Govind bolo. Radha Raman Hari Govind bolo. गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे, राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद
गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे कृष्ण राधे
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो